The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the debut and official launch of BIMU Radio, Black Independent Minds United Radio. I'm your host, Life Allah, with the God.
Jarul Allah, peace.
Yeah, and we here to bring it to you raw and real. This is the new home for independent artists worldwide, global. And we got a lot of things we want to go over, a lot of things we want to talk about. We want to invite you all. Please tell a friend. Tell them where we at, you know what I mean? Come and check us out. So let's talk about BIMU Radio, and let's talk about why we're doing this and why this is so important at this point in time. Jarul?
Yeah, for me, BIMU represents just a frequency that connects us all. You know what I mean? It's basically, there's a certain frequency that resonates with us all, and I feel like a lot of us have been disconnected from that, through the various things, whether it be, the type of music that's in the mainstream nowadays and other different things in our eyes every day. But what BIMU Radio represents is a place for the artists, the true artists, to actually have a platform to share their art with the world and be connected with other artists and other people with like minds and people who really are truly about the art. So
no doubt. Another reason why BIMU was started, this idea has been around for about maybe 2-3 years. It's been circulating in my mind for a while, and the God Jarul brought it to my attention a few months ago and said, "Life, look, I don't know what's going on with you, but we got to do something." And I said, "Like what? What we got to do?" He's like, "Yo, we got to share with the world what's happening." And I said, "You know what, God? Maybe you're right. Maybe we need to put this thing together." So Black Intelligent Minds United was born. Like I said, today is the official launch. This is the foundation, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things, bringing a lot of conscious music to the forefront, which is not even available no more. There was a time in the music game, in the music business, or in the business of music, where music set the precedence of what was happening, and we need to bring that back, and we're going to be the ones that do it. This is your outlet. This is your new home. If you got material, if you got music, anything that you feel that you want to share, as long as it's positive, conscious, we're going to play it. And that's what we're about, you know what I mean? So let's get into a few more things, God. First and foremost, I want to thank you for allowing me to participate in this grand launch with you.
Well, me and you, we have a great relationship. We've been, friends for a while now.
Yeah.
And the constant thing that would come up in conversation was, man, I got to get back to the
music.
I got to get back to the music.
The music,
so,
right.
I feel like this is a great opportunity, not only for you, but a way for people who really want to do something real to have a platform and a place to do that.
Well, I've been in the music game for a long time, with those that remember me and the things I used to do, promote and market and play a lot of music, and all the, artists that I've worked with in the past, some are still around and some are not.
Yeah.
And, for me to come back in to do what I love, man, is a very, very serious thing. So I want to thank you for not pushing the envelope, but I want to thank you for, letting me know, like, look, Life, you got something the world needs. These young people may not understand your foundation and there's things that we set up. Mm-hmm. A lot of us in the game, like the Poetess, like myself and others, we pretty much laid the foundation for what's going on now. And now we're moving into an independent realm. You know, I know here at Morse Media, they're doing a lot of great things. So I want to thank them, too, for allowing us to have this format and this showcase here. And I said, should I, radio show here. And we're going to bring a lot to the table. And I'm just looking forward to the relationship. What else you want to add on with?
I obviously know your history, but I think it'd be important for you to kind of talk about, your history, where you come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because obviously you come from the mecca of hip hop.
Yeah.
And where hip hop, came from and started. So I guess just tell the people a little bit about your history.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, I'm originally from New York City, Queens. Hollis 113 from Farmers. Peace to all those on Farmers Boulevard. You know who you are. Went to Andrew Jackson. Grew up around a lot of the pioneers of hip hop. Run DMC. Russell. Everybody, man. Big D for those who know him. So I started out in early '91 when I got out of the military in '89, and I became an intern at Rush Artist Management. And learned a lot from Leo Cohen, learned a lot from Russell Simmons, learned a lot from Big D, learned a lot from a lot of people who you might have even heard of before. And I became executive, worked here in Los Angeles, worked in New York, pretty much worked all across the world, really, with music. And one of the biggest things for me is I was, as they would say, a real promoter of music. I would be out there on the grind, pumping the music out, pressing the records, getting it played, do whatever I had to do to make sure that, the music was getting heard. And then I got into the marketing aspect and then the managerial aspect and then the publishing aspect. And so I have been involved in the game for a very long time. And I've seen people come and people go. As a matter of fact, people I used to work with are still doing great things in film and TV now, and they moved on. I went back to the military, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, I was called back. And, of course, in 9/11, we know what happened. So I had to segue out of the game, and I'm kind of like reintroducing myself into the game, the new game.
So, and you say new game, so it kind of interests me to being that you're getting back into it, what makes you want to promote it from an independent standpoint?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, right now, anything that's bought is controlled. Independence gives you the flexibility and the leverage to do whatever you want to do, when you want to do it, provided you have a plan, provided you have a purpose, provided you have something that's tangible that's needed in the marketplace. Now, I have a master's degree now. I went back to school. I'm on my way to get my law degree as well, because I think that's critical in any business to understand the law and how business works. Today's independent artists have everything in their arsenal to become great and prominent. However, what they don't have, from what I've seen so far, is the business savvy and the professionalism. You know what I mean? That comes with this. Remember, you're dealing with all types of people in this game. And so you got to be able to speak the language of the people and do what needs to be done from that point, from the independence. And I think that BIMU Radio is going to be one of the many outlets that independent artists have. We're going to be introducing new music you never even heard of. And we're going to bring it to you raw and real. And for those that want to get involved, check us out. Check us out.
Not only the music, you're going to get a lot of knowledge on how to actually implement certain things into your business so that you could, promote yourself as an independent artist.
Exactly. And that's a critical piece. Right. I think another thing that we need to add to independence is the flexibility of the resource. A lot of artists, my music is dope and my music is this. And then when we hear it, it's garbage. It has no substance. Right? That's another thing we're going to be doing at BIMU. We're going to be actually critiquing your music. If your music is not fire, it's going into the trash. It's just simple as that. Don't get mad about it. Get your act cleaned up and then come and see us. We're dealing with quality music, quality people for quality vibrations, frequencies, and sounds. And that's what BIMU is really about, the frequency, the vibration, and as well as the leverage that we want to give independent artists out there here in L.A. and any place else around the world. And I think that's a critical point. Yeah. So I guess what we want to do right now is kind of introduce our first joint that we want to bring to y'all. It's coming. This next song right here, this first song is Bananas. The God Jarul introduced me to it, and we're going to bring it to you live. What's the name of the cut? Oh, okay.
The name of the song is Pain by Rhapsody. And Rhapsody, to me, is one of the best MCs at this point in time.
Right.
But the majority of people never heard of her. You know what I mean? She's from North Carolina. She's on Jam Loud Records, and they're like a subsidiary to
Rock Nation. Yeah.
So
she's dope.
For me, I'm a producer, so my ear generally catches to the production first, and the producer on this track is Knots.
All right.
And Knots has a real history in production, work with Busta Rhymes. So
here we go.
Here we go.
Pain, Rhapsody. Check us out.
Namaste.
Invoke the deities you believe in and thank them for
The
being.
joy of profound gifts and energy
There is
are
no one
coming
else quite
toward
like
you.
you.
Let go and release.
I am moving the energy.
No,
through
I'm
your
moving the
crown.
energy
I am
through your
also-
crown.
I am moving the energy through your ear hole.
There are 643 natural healers in Los Angeles. Make your business stand out with a beautiful website. Make it Squarespace. Start your free trial today and use offer code SoundCloud to save 10%.
You heard. She got you mushy. You mushy. You mashed potato. She got you like a wet napkin. You and your feeling, you heard.
So you come out of your mama's womb shaped by her pain, but it's the pain that shapes us, and then you go out into the world, life happens. You see horrific things, people do horrific things to you. Hurting people hurt people, sometimes even our parents call us out of our names, you know? So when we don't talk about the things that we have witnessed, the life transitions that have occurred, when we don't talk about it.
I fail to understand you, nigga. Grew up with you niggas. You all grew up with each other. Why you shoot at niggas? You can't fight, throw a ride, duck a swing. What up with y'all? Know you got some pain, but come on, my nigga. What happened? He called you out your name, a bitch, a fag, or something? You ain't different from each other. Why you even frontin', homie? You ain't really about that life. You don't wanna go to jail. You don't wanna lose your life. Real niggas don't kill brothers over a pair of J's or Nikes. Of watching us kill each other and watching them kill each other's. No, all of us don't love us, and some of us think it's corny to call another a brother or call a sister a queen. Who messed up your self-esteem, my nigga? You ain't gotta live or die by the trigger. You ain't gotta hide your pain in bottles of liquor. The world will never ever understand this dilemma. Oh, the pain, nigga. The pain. A black man disrespected by the world, no peace at home. Disrespected by the young girl, no emotion for fear of being weak. They human just like you and me. Chill for a second, breathe. No asthma, pumps they grab, spill plasma. Girl, can't you see? He need you by his side, weak. That don't make you weak, shit, baby. I understand your pain, nigga. The pain. A black women disrespected by the world. Too much attitude, angry. We ain't supposed to love our bodies. Fuck you. I know what you think about us. Overlooked by own cause we ain't exotic. America been sucking our titties too long. Mad it can't break us. America, we too strong. I know the pain, frustration, all the lies, deceit. The love of watching a mother beat a child in the street. Oh, the pain of it. The pain of a man who never knew the man that made him. Won't man enough to raise him. Teach him how to raise his fist when others tripped, and how to shoot a ball. Look a man in the eye, check his emotions and all that. Teach him how to survive a world, don't give a fuck about him. Oh, the pain. Don't wanna teach him the game of life. How to piss in toilets right. How to respect another man while they run the gangs and them triggers bang, bang all fucking night. The pain of a daddy's girl without a daddy. Look like daddy absent. Want a man to fill that void. She yelling at him, spank me, daddy. Daddy wasn't there to pain. She tried to fill it with his thing. He ain't got a daddy neither. He don't know how to really please her. Break her heart. No daddy for her to run to, or him to have some fear for her. Protect her, walk her down the aisle when she meet Mr. Right. Ain't no daddy if he mess up and threaten his life. Pain. The pain of a mother who went half on a baby and got a whole lot to deal with. He pieced out, she piecing it together by herself. Shit, look, this real pain, the only one at his games, the one she can make between work and shit. Trying to make excuses why his deadbeat absent. Pain knowing she can't take the pain away. Hard truth, only scars she can't banish for a baby's love. The pain of a man wanna raise his child, love his child. Baby mama crazy, she don't never let him see his child. System treat him fucked up. Money, always treat his mama like the victim. Pain in his ass, she make it hard to do the right thing. It pains him. He can't be around for his offspring. She lied to his child. Grew up calling fucked up the pain, knowing he won't ever fix what she messed up. Pain.
Our so-called leaders said they speak for the people. The pain from giving grows deeper. Grows deeper.
And breaking news tonight in the tragic shooting of an unarmed teen in Florida. Now, just moments ago,
a jury in Baltimore could not reach a verdict in the trial of William Porter, a Baltimore police officer charged with a number of crimes and the death of 25-year-old Freddie Gray.
Let's get right to the new developments in the massacre of those 5 police officers in Dallas, an act of madness that has injected a whole new level of anger and fear in
war. Let me speak on it. Let a fly nigga put a beak on it. Take a seat, but I keep it street, but it gotta be a little deep. Can't nobody win a battle if it ain't strategic. Hate it, walking the block. Alien, cause I'm alienated. I ain't even got a plot, got a target on me. Private prison system, market upon me. Darkness upon thee. I wish if you wish and death the mark upon me. Yeah, we went for $1 billion a day to the United States, so we could escape. But the idea itself is priceless. Can't nobody pay, so we don't got it. All we can afford is riders, frontlining. Imagine buying your own freedom, but you're worth more than the money. They call it colonizing when they kill 1 billion people. Turn around and demonize us, say we evil. Angels and demons, gods and devils and prophets. Non-profit pharmaceuticals, they sold us for profit. But profit, what's the resolution? A revolution, destitution. Tell you to go when you don't know. It's a war over here, but you don't overhead. You talk about war, but not the one that's overhead. War, cause if they call it what it is, it's gonna be a little different than what it is. Load up your Glock, it's time to reoccupy the block. Saying la da da dee 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 la dee 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 da dee da. Taking no prisoners with a straight up worry eyes, worry eyes.
Death for life, life or death. I was there when my nigga took his last breath. I'ma take it all or I'ma fight until it's nothing left. Kidnap your daughter, the 4-5 to your wife's best. War, R-A-W. She did your homework, know who you're bringing trouble to. A little Malcolm X, a little Huey P. A murderer. When it comes to my family, it's only 2 choices, Trump or Hillary. But all I can hear you saying is you plan on killing me. All I can meet your way in one of those facilities. Since we ain't friends, I guess that really makes us enemies.
It's a war over here, but you don't overhead. You talk about war, but not the one that's overhead. Cause if they call it what it is, it's gonna be a little different than what it is. Load up your Glock, it's time to reoccupy the block. Singing la da da dee 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 la dee 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 da dee da. Taking no prisoners with a straight up worry eyes, worry eyes, worry eyes. Yo, straight up worry eyes.
Hey, yo, this kids nowadays got scary eyes. They're imbeciles, incompetent, stick out kids with no future life. Turned out rebellious against the world system. They become murderous thugs, dope fiends, and girlies. A boy not future baby can't when they're supposed to raise them. And no free words, freeborn is uneducated. Dumbhead teachers, pulling out kids' minds with historical facts when they're supposed to teach them the real facts from the fakeness of substantial. Yo, war corruptions, no peace without justice. But my elevation for peace sticks, march practice and war tactics. Third World War political freedom, about world leaders, test mass murderous blasts, espionage, war logistics. Now American soil is war between black and blue. Cops killing our babies, killing our innocent babies. Yo, we all trapped in this war, ballistics. They monopolize games with our brains to support their war in our right to take over their oil resources. To the earth crisis, innocents die from this war casualties. W, period, A period. This means war, they can't kill us all. Yeah, yeah.
It's a war over here, but you don't overhead. You talk about war, but not the one that's overhead. War, cause if they call it what it is, it's gonna be a little different than what it is. Load up your Glock, it's time to reoccupy the block. Singing la da da dee 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 la dee 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 da dee da. Taking no prisoners with a straight up worry eyes.
I want every white person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the direction. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you.
All right.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to BIMU Radio.
BIMU Radio, Black Intelligent Minds United. Played those 2 joints. I know y'all feeling it. What y'all feel about it? Talk about that, Jerul.
Oh, man, you know, I feel like those 2 songs really definitely kicked the show off in the right way. Obviously, the Pain song really deals with, I feel like, the condition of a lot of people in the world who are dealing with, various different strifes, you know what I mean? It's more of an internal situation. And she does a really good job of describing the different circumstances and different things that we all deal with. I know I'm dealing with some of that stuff right now.
And I've dealt with it myself, for real. You know what I mean? That's why it hit home for me. When I heard the joint, the pain. Well, let me speak on that just for a second. You know, this pain that we have internally come from many places, come from our parents, come from environment, come from society, come from education, come from the economical mishaps that we're dealing with right now. So when Rhapsody spoke and when she delivered this message saying that we're all in this together, we're not in the pain by ourselves, but we in it together, and so how we remedy is through music and vibration. That's the glue. The music is the glue to keep all people in sync if you stay in tune.
It's interesting you say that because, from my research, saying like ancient Egypt, they would use the instruments like the guitar as a way to basically get your body back in balance when you're dealing with some type of sickness. So they would place the guitar, say, on your chest.
So you're dealing with the megahertz of the aura and the energy. Well, it's funny. A lot of people don't even understand that the frequency that we're all energetic beings, living beings, right? Through energy. That energy definitely can tell the tale of the tape. If you put on a song, you know what I mean, it'll change your whole attitude if it's the right type of frequency or the type sound or the type pitch of the song or the words. So yes, music is always going to be the healing mechanism if it's produced and if it's done correctly. Right? Like right now, the second cut was by Prophet, right? Brother that the poetess introduced me to, and I immediately jumped on it, looked at his videos, and was like, wow, this dude is really saying something, right? And the war principle, you know what I mean? I say war is wisdom, action, and results, right? So a lot of young people are going through what I say the elders went through in the 60s, and it's all happening all over again now. So the revolution is going to have to happen with the young people, and it's going to have to happen through music.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people tend to think that revolution has to be some type of physical fighting and guns and this and that.
It entails that, though.
That's definitely a side of it, but there's also a side of just changing your mind, changing what you're listening to, what you're around, the people you're around. That to me is revolution too.
Right, without question. And I think what he was saying in his cut was like, you talking about war over there. There's a war right here going on right now in our neighborhoods, in our homes, and everywhere we go. There's something conflicting with, as you say, the balance. And I think that what we're doing here at BIMU Radio, thanks to Morris Media again, is going to give us a healing outlet. To really see what this is really about. And speaking about music, let's talk about music for a minute. Right now, you got Cardi B, #1 joint out there on the Billboard, charts with this new joint called, Kodak Red or Black or whatever it's called, Kodak Yellow, whatever it's called. But she was a stripper at one time, and now she's a celebrity around the world making millions of dollars off this joint. What you think about that? Because that's got to be something that we talk about with BIMU Radio, you know what I mean? That positive against negative.
Yeah, you know what? To me, it's crazy because you think of someone like Rhapsody, to me, one of the best MCs out right now, very talented artist, but most people never heard of her. She's done things the right way. You don't see her in her videos dressed half naked and she
with
talks
titties
about,
out, right? Ass in the wind,
positive things and things of that nature, things that of substance that we all are all dealing with every day.
Right.
Whereas Cardi B is completely on the other end of the spectrum, and she gets put all the way to the top. She doesn't really have a whole lot of talent, you know what I mean? And she just basically went from a stripper to now she's one of these top-selling artists. So it tells you the state of the industry at this day and time, but it also tells me that people need to really take their careers in their own hand and push out what they need to push out.
Well, coming from an executive point of view, for me, what I was taught is what sells that's what you put out. What sells. We ain't caring about your conscious mind. We're not caring about, what you think. All we care about, if that's a hit And as long as it's a hit and I'm making money, that's the bottom line. But when you begin to erode the minds of the young people who think that that's something special to be overdressed, talking out the side of your neck with no type of substance whatsoever and keeping you ignorant, then you got to know that's only going to last for so long.
Yeah.
I don't see Cardi B as a mainstream artist down in the next 3-5 years. It just don't work that way in hip hop. You get maybe 1 or 2 hits. You may get a second album. You may be able to do some shit on Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? And that's it.
To me, she's like a chameleon. She'll move on to something else.
Well, yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And it's cool. I mean, if that's what she's doing to make, feed her children or whatever she's doing.
Feed her family.
I mean, I can't be mad at that element of it. But for me, a true artist is somebody who really cares about the art.
Right.
And it's not about just making $1, you know what I mean? It's about obviously doing something to support yourself, but also you got to have something of substance.
Well,
leave a legacy for somebody to look at and be inspired by and do better.
Right. Well, I come from the old school of music, man. Like I said, I was there early in the early 80s when it all began in terms of the mainstream. I remember being at Andrew Jackson High School, for those who understand. And I remember hearing Run DMC, Suck MC on WBLS in my cafeteria. And I was amazed about the impact then. And now we look at what's going on now in 2017. We don't have music like that anymore. Now it's all transhumanoid type music where you're like a robotic person and the only way you can interface is through your phone.
Yeah.
Like you can't even think no more. The phone is thinking for you. So I think the music right now, as it relates to where we are on a galactic level in terms of if you understand astrology and astronomy, we're in the age of Aquarius. That's the age of wisdom. That's the age of enlightenment. So a lot of people are waking up, and again, BIMU Radio is going to be that outlet to wake you up through sound and vibration.
Yeah, because the thing is people are still making that same music.
Right.
For a while, I remember, when things started to change, probably about 2005. I mean, really 2000, things started to change in terms of the music. But for a minute, I was kind of taking myself away from new music and was only listening to the old stuff, you know what I mean? But then I was like, man, there's got to still be a lot of youngsters out there, doing it the right way. So it kind of prompted me to want to search and find a lot of these artists. So there's still a lot of young artists out there doing the music that we like, doing doing creative things that, will push the culture forward, but they're just not in the spotlight. So BIMU Radio is here to give them some type of spotlight that they're not necessarily getting from the mainstream.
Well, I think it's important that, the independent artists, as you say, those are not being heard or not being, given an opportunity, that they do have this outlet. And we definitely want all of you that's listening to, send us your materials, send us what you got. Let us go ahead and give it out to the masses, to the people that's going to really count in terms of your collective work and your positive works, because we need more positive energy. My son today, right, Justice, we was home and he was studying the power of the ant. And when I was in Belize, I was watching the ant kill a fly, and 3 or 4 of them was taking the body back into, I guess, an area where they can feed the ants, and there was 4 other ants guarding the 4 that was covering. The point is, when we come together for a common cause, for the bigger cause, then we have real power. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what we're doing collectively with Morris Media, we're going to bring a lot of power to the table, and we're going to give a lot of these independent artists an opportunity to get their music and get their products and things heard.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a great situation. So let's move in to the next joint that we want to bring out, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the songs, because again, it's not just about talk, it's about talk and sound. It's about us playing the music that you probably never heard before and give you a chance to listen to. And now we're going to move into our next joint. And here we go.
Here we go.
I don't love just anyone. I am not just anyone. I rock heels, I rock Jordans, and I wear wigs and rock my natural. Can you believe he says I'm pretty but with dark skin? He was dark skin. I bought some Hennessy for these niggas. Wonder if they love their mother. I love these skin colors. I grew up on the west side. I relocated, I went downtown. I used to get so faded, I was so reckless. All that time I wasted, now I'm older. And it's so precious. Remember when my mama showed up at the club? I was on the edge, 13 in a club. They had shooters on the roof for the killers. When that nigga got shot, he never got up. Almost every club that we went to got shot up. Ay. They got rolled up. Dark-skinned girls, they always saying that you're pretty for a dark skin. Yeah, you're pretty for a dark skin. Dark-skinned girls, they always saying that you're pretty for a dark skin. Yeah, you're pretty for a dark skin. What the fuck does that mean? 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 The fuck does that mean? I first fell in love when I was 15. But what is love when you are 15? Big deals and baggy jeans, me Jackie and Christine, Jane and Chit the way. Drop funk to Galloway, I met my daddy in NY in 97. Same day that Biggie died. They said hurry up, I'm double parked. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Since you ain't been around, I've been listening to Biggie rhyme. Since you ain't been around, I've been forced to write my feelings down. But damn, I had a superhero, she cooked and cleaned. 2 jobs with 2 kids. I am not just anyone. Why would I wanna be like everyone? But still I ain't no different or better than you. I cry, I scream, shit, I bleed too. He said my standards are way too high. I ain't gonna be with anyone. I'd rather hold my pillow tight tonight. Nigga, I sleep just fine. Dark-skinned girls, they always saying that you're pretty for a dark skin. Yeah, you're pretty for a dark skin. Dark-skinned girls, they always saying that you're pretty for a dark skin. Yeah, you're pretty for a dark skin. What the fuck does that mean? 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 The fuck does that mean?
Dark-skinned girl, dark-skinned girl, dark-skinned girl, dark-skinned girl.
100 mil, I just say it cause I know I'm worth it. On the real, listen to me, you like it then purchase. But lately I've been feeling worthless. All this work I put in, I don't make it, what's the purpose? Standing on the surface of the surf and I'm just trying to find balance. Every day a new challenge. Had a dream I had the whole world tuned to my talents. And when my shit drop till it's over, it be no violence. Smoke a lot of weed mentally, I be wildin'. Started with me and Kurt, couple bitches and freestyling. Niggas laughed when I said I would buy an island. They even thought I was crazy, but couldn't say I was lazy. I wanted more, it's not a chore, I put in time for this. Since 16, still 16s I'm grinding with. Each line I spit, like I'm tired of shit. Never had shit, but always had the nerve to wanna be shit. It's just me, prick. Hoodies, jeans, Tim's, kicks. Same bull back then. 20s, 10s, and Knicks. Percocets and Xanax. Not much of a plan next. Just knew I had to get it then. Young boy, I got it in. Only picked the phone up if I knew niggas was trying to spin. Never picked the phone up for bitches. Text them I'm with a friend. Yeah, you know it's him. Switching up the flow again. Every time he get a chance to show it, he be showing them. If you don't know what all this, then you probably wouldn't notice him. Keep it like that in case a nigga lose hope again. Never know, might be back to selling that dope again. I shouldn't do it, I risk it all for this music. See, this the truest shit a nigga ever knew. Used to look for my father, mama needed a man too. Told shorty, I don't know if I can be a husband. But then again, I learned everything that my father wasn't. Lot of substance, I can feel it in my soul now. A little wiser, so the more I'm in control now. Yeah, I'm like nothing you can hold down. Hold up, about to enter in my zone now. Black man, what's the deal? Together we could all be so great if we keep it real. Why they keep shooting us and we shoot each other still? How many times you gonna let Jesus take the wheel? Gotta take it with your own hands. Learn the meaning of a man. If you know me, hope you learn it from me and you understand. I will never be perfect. I done wrote a million verses. Million times I was set back or let down for certain. Surprised I didn't worsen. Cause I know niggas that got it worse and they getting through it. I smile when I'm hurting. I'm not the same person who said I wouldn't change. Can't grow and remain the same. I used the pain as a muse. That's what got me here. I wish Lean was here. How could she not be here?
All right. We back from those 3 joints. Let's talk about it, Jerul. What's those 3 joints called?
Yeah, the first one was Jade Ink, Dark Skin, and to me that definitely is really a powerful song because there's a lot of women out there that don't necessarily feel beautiful based on
their skin tone.
Yeah, based on the standards of America. So, you know, it's
bleaching their skin.
You know,
they're wearing wigs. They're wearing extra eyes. I guess for them to see clearer, I don't know. But it's a deep situation when you have that type of inbred thing in your head where you can't even be yourself. As we the gods, we say, you know, you acting other than yourself, living a false life. Yeah. And you can't live a false life in an illusionistic world. You either got to be real with it or just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. You know what I mean? So what was the next cut?
The next one was Tonex, Deny.
Yeah. That right there, you know what I mean, talked about a collective works of being together. You know what I mean? Coming together, being together, existing as one. A lot of times, you know, I know right now we got this whole big controversy regarding the goddess concept, right? If people read the Holy Quran or Bible, they would see that man and woman came from a single source. That's a fact, right? But if we get caught up with the myth and the religious mindset, then we won't see our oneness. And this is why we have a lot of, you know, separation and a whole lot of controversy and a lot of what we call unrest and unpeace amongst each other. The black and the brown got to come together for the common cause, bottom line. And the red and the yellow going to follow. Once the black and the brown come back together, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's why today's mathematics, and we're going to go there. Today's mathematics, for all those who don't know, is knowledge. You got to look, listen, learn, and respect, but you got to have the knowledge to know. And not every knowledge is useful knowledge, man. Just like in the music game. Everything that I remember from the foundation is still the same. It's the people that ain't the same. The people are not the same.
In what respect?
Well, I remember working at A&M Records. Shout out to all my fellow A&M's record alumni out there. You know who you are. And there was a brother, not even a brother, a Jewish guy who put me in the game. His name was Evan Foster. I think all those who know Evan know what it is. And I remember him working with a guy named Al Cafaro and a guy named Jim Garno. And Jim Garno told me, just like that, he said, Life, you could put $1 million behind a record, but if it ain't what's happening and the people ain't feeling it, you just wasted $1 million. right? I still feel that that's actually true, right? But like I said, it's the people who's different now. The mindset of the people, the moral ethic that people should work in this game is no longer there. There was a thing called the Black Music Divisions at one time that we had, and I was a part of that. And we don't have that anymore. You know what I mean? And the reason why is because a lot of us did not understand the bigger picture. We got caught up and caught out there with a lot of things. And as a result of us getting caught up, now we barely holding on. We barely have any real say in the game. And a lot of our white counterparts are now running the R&B and hip hop show. May have a few other, black and pepper there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little specks of people there. But it wasn't like it was back in the day, man. And I don't think it's ever going to go back to that. I think now, as you said, independence is the only way now to really set the stage for where we are today in the music, scene,
Yeah, definitely.
You
I
know
feel
what I
like, obviously quite natural. If you go to somebody else, they're going to put their thoughts and notions on what you should be as an artist on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? With today, you could basically run your whole business from your laptop and your phone. So there's really no reason.
That's it.
Why you don't, you can't do it yourself. It's just about obviously getting the knowledge.
Right.
And taking the first step and then really sticking to it and pushing
Right.
forward. It's not going to be a fast situation, but once you build up a good fan base, you're all set.
Exactly. And I think the other thing we have to keep in mind is where do you start? Where is the first start for independent artists? First is understanding who you are. What is your brand?
Yeah.
Right? Because before we can talk about business, we have to understand what are you delivering?
Yeah.
Right? Supply and demand for those who understand the nature of business. And so I think what independent artists need to recognize is that what you bring to the table so we can eat.
Yeah.
Food for thought. We're not talking about physical food. We're talking about mental food.
Yeah.
What are you bringing that's going to sustain and actually give leverage to those who want to buy your product or
Yeah.
services? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now with the 360 deals and, all this nonsense that we're hearing,
Yeah.
we got to come back, man, to what this is really about. You know what I mean?
And I feel like as an artist, you have to be real with yourself in terms of your art. You got to really be able to analyze it and say, is it really of the quality that it needs to be to get me to where I want to go?
Right.
And that's a difficult thing for a lot of people to do. So if you're not able to do it, then let other people who can be critical of your art tell you what it really is.
Right.
And don't take it to take it to heart. Just take it as a way, okay, these are certain things that I need to
Constructive
improve
feedback.
on. Yeah.
It's not constructive criticism. We ain't
Right.
criticizing what you do.
Right.
We like the fact that you are doing what you got to do for your craft and for your passion.
Yeah.
But do it in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you the raw. If you I told you, if you submit material to BIMU Radio and it's garbage, guess where it's going? In the garbage pile. Don't be mad about that.
That's the thing. Don't stop because a great example, which we spoke about the other day, was Jay-Z. For a while, Jay-Z, he couldn't get signed. People weren't really messing with what he was doing.
Exactly. I tell that story. I was at Warner Brothers Records at the time where we had I was the head of the rap department, and Fuzzy, who's now at Capitol Records, was the head of the rap department here on the West Coast. And we was dealing with Ice-T on the Cop Killer song. And Dolores Tucker was out there wilding about, censorship. And it was crazy. Damon Dash, his brother and all, I used to work when I was at Loud Records with Steve Rifkin. Damon came to the building, came to the Rockefeller building, 75 Rockefeller, where Warner Brothers was at, and said, Life, look, I got this dude named Jay-Z. I said, Jay-Z, there's nothing I could do with that right now. I'm not the A&R. I'm a promotional man. There's nothing I could do here. Right now, we got so much controversy going on with Warner Brothers, and you bring in Jay-Z, and next thing I know, he had some deal with Profile, and then Reasonable Doubt was the first album, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we look at that, by going independent, a major label picked them up, and now they had leverage to do what they wanted to do.
Right.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out as far as they thought.
Yeah.
Because, again, when you have control, when you relinquish that control, somebody else is in control.
Yeah.
And I don't think Damon wanted that to happen, but it happened anyway.
Yeah.
And he, to this day, he blames Leor Cohen for the mishaps of what happened with Rockefeller.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But I think it goes back to him as well. I think it goes back to the internal structure that they had. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, there's a certain way that you got to do this business. We know the streets. We understand the streets is watching. We understand what goes on. There's a code that I grew up in the 80s that I still have in my arsenal now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think people, when money comes into play, power comes into play, they forget that code. You know what I mean? And they let the ego get the best of them. And unfortunately, the ego, you got to leave at the door sometimes. You know what I mean? I didn't mean saying be passive.
Yeah.
I'm saying you just got to leave the ego at the door. Because even the people, the A&Rs got ego. They think they the artist. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you used to have a meeting when you want to go sit with an A&R. You got to get an appointment. You got to go through their assistant. Yeah, by the time you go to the meeting, you don't even want to meet no more because this dude or this woman is sitting there pretending like they're the real central piece to it all, and they really not. Without the music, there is no A&R.
Right.
And without the music, there's no label.
Yeah, and I think that's important for the artist to know is like, yo, you're the artist. Without you, nothing's there. So
nothing.
Recognize your art. If you really have something of quality, recognize that you don't have to sell your soul and give that to somebody else. You could push it yourself because at the end of the day, if it's good, people will like it. You just got to get it to the people that will.
As we say here at BIMU Radio, plug into your frequency. If the music is hot, if the music is right, if the music is tapping into your psyche and tapping into your spirituality, whatever, it's going to do something to you. And you're going to tell a friend.
Yeah.
But if it's garbage, you ain't telling nobody. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. Now, let's talk about OJ. OJ got released today, which brings me back to Jay-Z's songs, The Story of OJ.
Okay.
Yeah? You know what I'm saying? He got released today at 12-something at night, so there was no controversy. But what did you think about The Story of OJ and what Jay-Z put out there, man? Because I know that was a big thing. There was a lot of people talking about it. And, you know, what's your thoughts about OJ coming out, a song being released not even a few months, prior to him coming out? What do you think he's probably thinking about that song right now?
Hopefully he's studying it.
Credit, right?
Yeah, take some time to learn from it, you know what I mean?
Credit.
But, Jay-Z, I feel like, really did a good thing with that album. It really showed that as an older artist, you can still make music.
And teach.
Right. You don't have to necessarily keep talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was always my gripe with him is he always would talk about
the hustle
and the drugs.
Well, that's what he knew, though.
But I understand that. But when
he's a family man now,
right now, let's talk about the next phase and the next progression in your life.
Yeah,
and I feel like he did that with this album.
Yeah,
and there's a lot in there that anybody could really take from whether you're young or old, and that's powerful.
I think the story of OJ talks about the story of many people trying to identify themselves. You could be a house nigga, white nigga, rich nigga, poor nigga, but you still a nigga. Not in the sense of being a nigga, but this is how the world sees you as that, especially with what they doing us, how they doing us now out here in these streets with our women, with our children, with ourselves as black men. We are being, pretty much destroyed in front of the eyes of the media. And it's okay, according to the social abnormalities, to do that. And I don't think that that's something that we need to sit down for. I think we need to stand up. The men of the community need to stand up. I know, listen, let me just be clear with everybody out here who listening. Nobody at this station is holy. Everybody done went through something that, we went left and sometimes we got to go right. But at the end of the day, though, you got to stand for something, especially as men that are fathers or women that are mothers. We got to now step up because our young people want to know where the leaders at.
Yeah.
They want to know who's going to be out there making it happen. So, yeah, man, so it's heavy. It's heavy.
So the story of OJ, to me, if we look at it from an artist perspective, it's like if you go to somebody else and you're accepted, just know that they're only accepting you because they can get something from you.
Good point.
As an artist, if you go with a label, you're only valuable to that label if you're giving them a product that they could sell and get money and get rich off.
Right.
And when you're not, they're gonna get rid of you. So
bottom line,
you got to look out for yourself.
So
first.
Another thing I want to say before we go into these last couple of joints and segue out for our first show is that if you're going to get a deal, I want you to really think about what that really means to you. Don't let the lawyer read the contract. You understand the contract by understanding the law and how contracts are put together. Second, if they're going to give you money, invest in the company that gave you the money. I remember telling Erykah Badu that when she came on the set, right? I was at Universal, and I said, listen, you had this certain amount of money. Take $50,000 and invest in Universal Music. Why? It's a publicly traded organization. Therefore, you'll have ownership. No matter what happens to your music or you as an artist, at least you own something. And that's critical right now. Ownership. We have a degree that we talk about who's the original man. Right? Answer, Asiatic black man, the maker, mean the thought, the owner, right? The cream. All these different things we discuss in that degree. But at the end, it says the God of the universe. You got to be the authority of your own fate. You have to be that person that controls your own destiny. And every man and woman on the planet writes their own book. Sometimes it's a bestseller, sometimes it's not. But it's all how you think. It's all about Black Intelligent Minds United Radio. That's the new home for all the independent artists out there that need a place to really share your wealth as well as your musical health. You feel me? Now, we're going to go into these next 3 joints. Again, tune in. We're going to be here every first and third Sundays from 1:30 to 2:30. We ask that any material that you want to submit, you can submit to Jarul at BIMUradio.com. You can always reach out to me at life at BIMUradio.com. We love to hear how you felt about our first show, about the music that we're going to be playing or have played. And we just want to thank everybody, man, for tuning in. For those that have been listening through MorrisMediaLive.com, we want to thank the poetess, the whole Morris Media staff, everybody who gave us this opportunity, man, to bring something to the forefront that's worth something. Jarul?
Yeah, definitely check us out on Instagram at BIMU Radio, as well as check out the website, which is www.BIMUradio.com, so you can keep up to date with what we have going on. Not only are we going to be doing a lot with this radio show, but we're going to be doing much more in terms of interviews and other great things down the line.
In the community.
Stay connected.
Yeah, stay connected. Plug into your frequency. So this next joint that's coming on is from an artist that I found to be very, very deep. His name is Alpha Miss, and it's a real dope track. So check us out, listen, enjoy, plug into your frequency, BIMU Radio, the new official home for the independent artists worldwide. Peace.
Peace.
You're only a call away, but I was dreaming of loving you yesterday. We were watching the angels sing all these beautiful melodies for you and me. More and more, I love you. It just makes me love you more. Babe, I just want to love, fly away, and just fly away. Swear I love to, and just fly away, fly away. Swear I love to, and just fly away. Babe, I'm so deep in love, feel like I'm falling, 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 falling for you over again. Swear it just makes me. I remember when we were just friends, way back, and we used to sing all these beautiful melodies. And just you and me singing these beautiful melodies, making these beautiful memories. That it is. Just want to fly away. Oh, oh, oh. Just fly away. Hey, I love to. Just fly away. Fly away, fly away. No, fly away, fly away. Just fly away. Just fly away. Yeah. Swear I love to. Just fly away. I swear I love to. Fly away. Swear I just makes me love you more. More, more, more,
Then lay the devil strike down Mike Brown. Black people wanna fight back right now. Police got dogs in the streets. For black people, it's a morgue in the streets. Ramarley took his last breath in the bathroom. Fox News cover that and catch a laugh soon. No more protests. We all so stressed. We want justice and won't take no less. Dominant gene, bombing the scene. Supreme being, showing them what dominance means. High science, walk and talk mathematics. Magnetic attract, create static. Mentality spark just like an addict. The people got to have it. Math is a habit, like a scavenger hunt for jewels. Snatch it up and bag it. Anybody left out is still savage. Fight back.
Another black life gone.
Fight back.
They've been doing this for so long.
Fight back.
I wanna
fight back.
I'm gonna
fight back.
Let's
fight back. Fight back.
Another black life gone.
Fight back.
They've been doing this for so long.
Fight back.
I wanna
fight back.
I'm gonna
fight back.
Let's
fight back. I'm taking freedom back like Saladin took Jerusalem. Test the God MC and cars is bruising them. I ain't mad, Musa choose to choose in them. I choose the black family and make moves with them. And Philly cops drop bombs on moving them. Cotton came to Harlem, now they moving them, or rather moving us. We just a few years removed from the back of the bus. I'm adding on to this culture, healthy, strong, and I'm a good builder. The science that I'm dropping really could kill you. No filters, this ain't IG without the OD, Instagram, old me. The gods know me, I stay up in the clouds, feet on the ground with the people, never lonely. Better than supreme math, you gotta show me. Come with the tricks and you can die slowly. Fight back.
Another black life gone.
Fight back.
They've been doing this for so long.
Fight back.
I wanna
fight back.
I'm gonna
fight back.
Let's
fight back. Fight back.
Another black life gone.
Fight back.
They've been doing this for so long.
Fight back.
I wanna
fight back.
I'm gonna
fight back.
Let's
fight back. What's your idea? Coming round here, starting trouble, that's the culture degree. We about to bust your bubble. Run them over the hot Arabian desert naked. Take everything and don't regret it, the God said it. Exile is much more than rhetoric. Take off my flag, you're better off Confederate. You're worse than a black cop. You move like a federal agent on some black ops. Ron Johnson or whatever your slave name. Try to pacify the people when the slave came. Screaming Jesus like he sees us. Got us waiting for the day that he frees us. See, they showing us they no longer need us. That's why they feel like it's alright to beat us. Keep up the fear and we accept what they feed us. Killing black babies, protect the fetus. Fight back.
Another black life gone.
Fight back.
They've been doing this for so long.
Fight back.
I wanna
fight back.
I'm gonna
fight back.
Let's
fight back. Fight back.
Another black life gone.
Fight back.
They've been doing this for so long.
Fight back.
I wanna
fight back.
I'm gonna
fight back.
Let's
fight back.